Shalom Israel. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rekah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. This is the article I found today, which I found it interesting, man. And it says beating biometrics. Why biometric authentication alone is not a panacea. Now the word panacea is it means universal remedy. 1540s, from Latin panacea, a herb variously identified that will heal all illnesses. From Greek panakeia, cure all. From panax, all healing. From pan, all. Alright? So Esau, because Esau wants to destroy the dollar, alright, and the way he's going to do that is through mass chaos and death and destruction, alright, in hopes that, people will see the RFID chip, alright, which the word biometrics means the study of the body, alright, in which Esau plans to, do that. Basically, the biometrics is all leading up to the chip. All roads lead to that chip under Esau, Edom. All right, but like the article says, it's not a cure-all, man. We warn you people, all right, to not take that RFID chip. It is the mark of the beast, and the scriptures say if you take it, you will literally be burnt alive. Okay, now reading into it, it says, as we witness the acceleration use of biometrics throughout our lives, we must pause to consider the risks and ramifications of doing so, as technological advancements make it increasingly easy to mimic, manipulate, and manufacture biometry. As the world becomes more reliant on biometric authentication, it's vital that we understand how it's being threatened, what happens when it's compromised, and what we can do to prevent a biometric dystopia. Biometrics are under threat from a confluence of emerging technologies, including artificial intelligence, machinery learning, 3D printing, graphics, and advanced optics and sensors. These technologies threaten to undermine the very integrity of biometrics. Okay? It says fingerprint fraud. Well, Slock, I'm going to read this last paragraph once more. It says biometrics are under threat from a confluence of emerging technologies, including artificial intelligence, machinery learning, 3D printing, graphics, and advanced optics and sensors. These technologies threaten to undermine the very integrity of biometrics. Because we know everything under Esau Edom's system has a sinister twist to it. Okay? I always go into the show Black Mirror. And every time that show, by the end of every show or every episode you watch in Black Mirror, you see how dangerous that RFID chip is. All right, now it says fingerprint fraud. While our unique physical traits are inherent to each of us, the data that represents that biometry is not. That is, when one verifies their fingerprint, the unique patterns of physical ridges that constitute their fingerprint are digitally translated into data by a sensor, and that data can be stored, shared, and even modified. This creates an opportunity for exploitation. In January 2017, researchers from Japan's National Institute of Informatics were able to demonstrate that they could successfully extract fingerprints from photos of individuals using simple mid-level consumer digital cameras. Once this biometric data has been siphoned, synthetic copies of that fingerprint can easily be created with consumer-grade 3D resin printers. Police in Michigan did just that in 2016, albeit with fingerprint data sourced from a police repository rather than extracted from a photo. Working with a local university, law enforcement was able to create a replica of a murder victim's finger complete with fingerprint in order to unlock that victim's phone to access potential evidence. All right, and going into that, you got a lot of these phones. Like I was just in a Sprint store yesterday, and a lot of these newer phones, like the Galaxy S10, all right, the newer iPhones, what they have it to where you need your fingerprint or you need facial recognition just to get into the phone. Now people might say, "Oh, it's cool," or for dudes, jakes or whatever, it's cool, because the woman can't get in their phone without them knowing. All right, but little do you know, Esau is using and storing that data, man. The brother Shalimar, he brought out a beautiful point. If even also in for those who have Android phones, they now have made it to where you're able to download all your images and stuff into Google Files, man. It's unlimited space now. Why is that? Because Esau wants to store your data, man. I had seen an article maybe a few months back to where this lady, she ended up actually suing Six Flags because they did something to where her child, they basically use her child information or facial recognition or something like that, fingerprint data, without her knowing. So it says facial fraud. Facial recognition is even more vulnerable to such attacks. From social networks to driver's license to the security cameras used inside and outside of the places we shop, the biometry of our faces is readily available for the taking. While rudimentary facial recognition can be defeated with a simple picture of the authorized individual, more modern systems that rely on a three-dimensional comparisons can be defeated with a 3D printed head, just as researchers successfully demonstrated in 2018 against certain Samsung, LG, and OnePlus phones. Think it's infeasible or impractical to extract a 3D rendering of a target's face from a 2D photo or video frame? Not only have advancements in machine learning and computer vision made this possible, but a startup launched just this year provides this very capability through an online service. And it goes on to vein authentication. All right, which I guess I'll read into that. It's only a few more paragraphs. All right, so it says, since most veins under our skin, which just stood out to me too, because it also goes to show you that they could authenticate anything you give them, man. All right, so it says, since most veins under our skin aren't externally visible, vein authentication has been touted as a better biometric alternative. In this approach, the unique placement and dimensions of the veins under an individual's skin are used to identify them. However, just because veins aren't visible to the human eye doesn't mean they can be seen and remotely extracted. It says, using an SLR camera with the infrared filter removed, German researchers last year remotely extracted the vein patterns from an individual's hand from 5 meters away. They then used this data to create a wax model of the hand complete with synthetic veins to successfully trick a vein scanner. One of the researchers noted, "I was quite surprised that it was so easy." All of this is to say that there is no biometric authentication method immune from attempted spoofing. Basically meaning that life is not going to be safer, all right, under a biometric controlled society, a biometrically controlled society. Whether by recreating physical analogs or supplying the biometric verification system with fraudulent biometric data, there will always be attempted exploits. Even if these exploits are not available or practical today, emerging technologies will inevitably change that. All right. So now, you got to really, examine yourself, man. And how are, you know, basically how you viewing Esau society. You know what I'm saying? Because we all, like the scripture say, use the world, not abuse it. You use your GPS, use your phone for certain things. But it's just like killing you if your phone dies, or if you can't have your phone for a little bit, or you feel like you need the GPS to go every fucking where. You got to examine that, man. Because Esau, slowly but definitely surely, he's going to push that RFID chip. And like we always get into in the book of Revelations, the 13th chapter, Esau is going to get physical with that chip, man. He causeth all. The word cause means to make. He maketh all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand. All right. And as we just read, there's nothing that's on the internet that cannot be hacked, that cannot be authenticated for a person's own use. Why you think they got, the Fire Stick? Everybody's using the Fire Stick, which the Fire Stick is nothing more than certain torrents. All right, the Fire Stick is nothing more than certain torrents, authenticated from like so-called legal sites. That's why you're able to get these free movies and the free movies that might have just came out in the theaters and stuff like that. And that's just on a small level. So let me get some precept. This is Proverbs 27:6. So it says, faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. And it's just like the other scripture says, the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel, Proverbs 12:10. All right. So, don't think, you got to really, like the scripture say, be circumspect. All right. You got to be skeptical in this society, man. Because knowing that Esau does nothing, all right, for your benefit, but everything is for his benefit. Okay. Psalm 62:10. It says, actually, I'm going to start at 5. Start at 5. Psalm 62:5. My soul, wait thou only upon God, for my expectation is from him. Okay. Our expectation and our livelihood is only to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. He's the one who we give our darkest secrets to, man. He's the one we put our trust in, not Esau and his technology. He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be moved. All right. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is the one that cares. He really, the one that really cares for us, man. Cares for us. And soon he's going to take us out of this captivity. And God is my salvation and my glory, the rock of my strength, and my refuge is in God. And as the scriptures say in the Lord's Prayer, on earth as it is in heaven, thy will be done. So it's the Lord's will to give us the kingdom. And soon, as you see these chariots sightings, as you see uproars of the people all over the world, this means that our salvation is near. Because the Lord doesn't want us here. He doesn't want us. He's not going to leave us in slavery. It says, trust in him at all times, not in Esau, but in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, ye people. Pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us, Salah. So when things get bad, because things like I've mentioned before, things are going to get bad, before they so-called get better, that's when we really got to put our trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, that he's the one that's going to make it better. He's the one that's going to deliver us out of it, not Esau's, wicked ass technology. So it says, trust in him at all times, ye people. Pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us, Salah. Salaki, I got to put it on night. It's like messing up my eyes here. It says, surely men of low degree are vanity, and men of high degree are a lie. To be laid in a balance, they are altogether lighter than vanity. Trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery. Because what is oppression? Oppression is having someone over you. All right? That's hey, having this devil over you, that's oppression, man. All right? Having to pay bills, having to pay rent, having to pay for water, having to pay taxes. That's all oppression. All right? So it says, trust not in oppression. All right? Don't trust in Esau society, because Esau society represents oppression, especially for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which is, of course, if I didn't say that, that's, what this lesson is going to be, is geared to, or those of whom this lesson is geared to, more specifically, more importantly, rather, the elect. So it says, trust not in oppression, and become not vain in robbery. If riches increase, set not your heart upon them. God have spoken once, twice have I heard this, that power belongeth unto the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Also unto thee, O Yahweh, belongeth mercy, for thou renderest to every man according to his work. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai is that's the one who we got to look, to get us out of this jam, this situation. Not to take that RFID chip, because each aid, man, the hour of temptation is coming. And it's like, are you going to, believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushai that he's going to get you out of this situation? All right. Or are you going to believe that that chip is the, what does it say, the panacea? Panacea, the cure-all, And that choice is coming up very, very soon, man. Hey, so with that, shalom to the elect.